I had some people asking questions about how does that asymmetry really influence the performance. So I'm gonna actually use one example from the jump testing. So this is from the research data that we did years ago and looking at the jump height and amount of asymmetry in percentage.
好，那有些人会问说，那我们这个不对称性会如何影响到我们的运动表现的部分？那可以看到我们这个图表哈，直的部分呢是我们这个跳跃的高度，横的部分呢是它这个不对称性的差距这样。
And then based on the data, you notice that a lot of the jump is here, especially the higher the jump, you see it as less than 8%. So I draw the yellow line as a 8% cutoff line, and then you see a lot of jump here. It means that most of the time people are less than 8% value to jump higher.
好，那在这个图表的这个左上角的部分呢，它是代表着说，你的对称性它是没有太多不对称性状况，同时呢，它又是跳得比较高的。那这个黄线呢，就是我们刚刚提到的8% 的这条线，所以可以注意到我们左上角的部分，就是它没有太多不对称的情形，然后同时它的表现上跳跃的高度也是比较高的。
And then you notice that after 8% value, you see the correlation start to go down. It means that the higher the asymmetry value, the lower the jump height becomes.
好，那在我们这个黄线的右手边的部分呢，代表就是说它的左右两边的不对称性的状况是比较高的，那但是它跳的就是比较低。
So based on this kind of stuff, it's very obvious that the asymmetry value influence the jump performance between left and right because you're using both sides together. If you have one side more than the other, it happens like this.
所以在这个图表中，我们可以很明显的看到，如果你左右两边的不对称性的百分比是比较高的状态下呢，代表你的施力上是不平均、不完整的，所以你跳跃的高度呢就会比较低。
Okay, so based on this data, if I were the person to design the training program, I would create 3 different training programs. The first one is for people here, people who jump high and then not much of asymmetry. The second one I'll create is for those people who needs to have the reduction of asymmetry percentage. And then the last one, the third one is for people here. People who don't have asymmetry but they don't jump high. So simply it's a lack of physical output. So I have 1 group, 2 group, and 3 group for different training system.
好，所以在做这个训练方的设计的时候呢，我们会分成3个部分。第一个部分呢，是它没有在左上角的部分，它没有太多的不对称的状况，那同时它要跳得比较高，这是第一个部分。第二个部分呢，我们就会针对它有身体的不对称性，那我们试着透过训练方案减少它的不对称性，然后同时呢，希望它的表现是提高的。第3个部分呢，是在左下角的这个部分，它呢没有什么太多的不对称性，但是它就会跳得比较低。那所以我们这时候就会针对它的这个体能的情形呢，去做一个加强。
And then I see this as a common problem when you actually have a team training, because in the team training, everybody do the same thing. Even though data might look like this, if everybody do the same thing, some athletes will not get the maximal effect from training.
所以这个状况呢，尤其是在团队训练的时候，我们尤其要注意到，因为在团队训练的时候，我们做一个团队性的检测，很多人的状况，我们也许做出来的图表分布情形就会像这张图表一样。那这时候如果大家都用同样的训练方案的话，那会注意到，其实我们的选手们他们没有办法得到太多的帮助，所以我们就会按照这样的方式呢来做一个分别。
Okay. So I had some people asking questions about, okay, what kind of exercise is really good, or how do we approach to fix this asymmetry? So I listed as do's and don't do's, okay, when you approach to fix the asymmetry.
那有些人就会开始问说，那我们要用什么方法、什么运动来去修正这个不对称性的状况呢？所以我们这边分2个部分哦。第一个是可以这么做，第2个部分呢就是不要这么做。
So this is all from the evidence base, means that some of us have done some studies to know what kind of exercise or what kind of training program actually helps to reduce the amount of asymmetry.
等一下我们就会根据现有的研究呢，或是证据的部分呢来说，我们要做哪些事情，然后不要去做哪些动作，这样子。
Okay, so the do's, okay, the first one is actually being stronger seems to fix this issue. What it means is, most of the time, the people who have a high asymmetry, they tend to be very, very weak based on a lot of research outcome.
好，那第一个部分就是我们要这么做的部分，就是第一个部分是说，当你的身体变得越来越强壮的时候，似乎是可以修正这个不对称性的情形。
The second one, and then I hope this kind of makes sense, but when you actually have a very light weight to do exercise, you use your sense, okay? So that's why you have asymmetry. But if you actually put heavier weights or you hold a heavier weight, you actually correct yourself to be center. Because it's heavy, okay, you actually automatically correct yourself to be very center.
好，那再来呢，就提到说，如果当你使用的训练的过程中，你用比较轻的重量的话，那这个时候你是用自己的身体感觉来去完成这个动作，那它对于修正这个不对称性的部分是不太有帮助的。那所以这时候我们就用比较重的重量，然后在做这些动作的时候呢，你的身体就会去让重心维持在中间的位置，而不会去左右的偏移。所以这时候我们会使用比较重的这个重量，然后来做这个双侧的动作。
And then another part, when you go to the don't do's, the first thing I mentioned is don't do single leg or single arm exercise because this will not fix asymmetry issue.
好，那再来提到不要做的部分。那在这个部分呢，博士的意思是说，你不要去做单腿或是单脚的运动，因为这对于修正这个两边左右的不对称性呢，它的帮助是不大的。
Okay, the reason behind it is general idea. When people are asymmetrical, people say, okay, let's do the weaker side to get this one up to be symmetrical. This does not happen from the physical output. If you want to be nearly symmetrical, you have to do the bilateral exercise. Use the both sides simultaneously. Then this one will catch up to be close to equal.
那在一般的概念想法里面呢，会觉得说，如果你左右两边差距很大的话，那我们就会针对弱的那一边做一个单侧的训练。那很可惜的是说，它这样子没有办法去修正这个状况，反而是你要做双侧的训练动作，它才会让两边的这个情形呢，会是不对称性会是比较减少的。
And then kind of leading to previous discussion about using a light weight. Okay, so if you're doing a bilateral exercise, you want to do fairly heavy weight to make yourself equalize. Okay, so you have to do bilateral exercise, and then you have to use a fairly heavy weights in order to keep yourself in the center to equalize the weight shifting.
好，那这时候呢，我们会谈到第二部分，谈到这个使用的负荷的部分。那如果说你用比较重的负荷的话，你在做双侧动作出力的时候，它才会将你的身体的重心维持在中间，而不会去左右乱跑这样子。